Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer here at SC Cambuur. Now I'm sure you watched the last episode and the frustration levels in that episode were, well, they were up here. Yeah, I know, that's off the screen. That's exactly how high the frustration levels were. And let me tell you, after that episode, I kind of had thoughts of giving up being a football manager, just go and buy a little cabin in the country, get myself a fishing rod and just fish all day. I've actually never fished in my life. I do find it a little bit boring if I'm honest, but that just goes to show how frustrated I am at being a football manager. And let me tell you, it didn't end there. Just have a quick look at this. By the way, Football Manager has been fixed. Oh, it's been fixed. Just have a look at this. So this is a game that we played off camera. Sparta Rotterdam, newly promoted team. We actually won it 4-2, but just look at one of these goals. So you're going to see our second goal in a second. It's coming up very shortly. Delgado sticks the ball in the net. Very nice. We're 2-0 up. Just coming up to half time. They do get one back. Ball over the top. We seem to be getting caught out a little bit with that. But they get one back. So it's 2-1. Going into the second half. So a ball over the top for us. Van Dijven, lovely finish for 3-1. Now just watch this. Football Manager, it's been fixed. So I think it bears watching again this. A bit of FM magickery this. Magickery, is that a word? It is now. Ball over the top. Just look at this, all the time in the world. And if you watch what happens here, so my goalkeeper and my defender are backing into, well, one of them's backing into the other and holding him away from the ball. I mean, that's real football, isn't it? And let me tell you, it didn't get any better from there. I'm not quite sure at the moment whether the AI is looking at SC Cambuur. I mean, you know, let's face it. I will fully admit we are vastly overachieving. Every season the board wants us to finish mid-table, maybe top half if we're very lucky. But you know, we're actually finishing in second place. We're in the Champions League. Okay, you know. We're doing okay in there. We're holding our own in the early stages. I mean, once you start playing the Real Madrids and the Atletico Madrids, then, you know, we get knocked out. But I think we're doing a lot better than the AI would see us as doing. And I don't know whether that's a problem. I don't know whether we're going into these games and, you know, particularly like, you know, the Ajax games and teams that are supposedly, you know, leagues better than us. And the AI is just saying, SC Cambuur, yeah, rubbish. They're just going to get no luck. All the shots are going to hit the crossbar, the post, whatever. And they ain't winning a game. And that was beautifully scripted against Ajax in the semi-final of the Dutch Cup, where we actually went toe-to-toe with them. It finished at 0-0 after extra time. And we played absolutely brilliantly in that game. And if we just have a quick look at the stats from that game, basically, shots-wise, we had 26 shots, 10 on target with an XG of 2.73. You can see it was very close. We were not outplayed at all, which we have been previously by Ajax, but we weren't outplayed. Ajax, 22 shots, 8 on target, XG of 2.55. So we were very slightly on top in the game. We certainly went, you know, equally toe-to-toe with them. Penalty shootout. I think we must have taken altogether, we must have taken about 20 penalties in the game. But I just knew in my heart that the last person to take a penalty and miss it would be a Cambuur player. And that's exactly what happened. Ajax won on penalties, went through to the final, played FC20 of all clubs, who, if we'd have got through, we could have had some silverware, because I think we could have beaten FC20 quite easily. Our first team is quite capable of doing that. But no, Ajax went through. We weren't allowed to score in the game. There were lots of chances where we were hitting the post, hitting the bar. The ball just was not allowed to go in the net. And consequently, Ajax went on to win the Dutch Cup again 3-1. I mean, I don't know how many times Ajax have won it, and I'm getting a little frustrated with the whole dominance in the league that's guided by the AI. Anyway, rant over. So after the Atletico Madrid defeat, which saw us leave the Champions League, we then played at Excelsior. We had a nice 5-1 win there. We played Wilhelm 2-0. Quite a narrow win against NAC Breda. I think we're a little bit tired, but we beat them 1-0. Then we played Ajax in the Dutch Cup semi-final. I mean, I have to qualify what I've just said by I didn't really expect to beat Ajax. I mean, we don't really beat them. I mean, we have beaten them in my time as SC Cambuur manager. We have beaten them, but very, very few and far between. And I didn't think we would win that, but my hopes were raised when I saw how we were playing. We played brilliantly. But anyway, you've heard the story. We ended up getting knocked out by Ajax. Then we came back into the league, played at El Melo, beat them 3-0. And then we went a little bit of a wobble. At that moment in time, we weren't guaranteed that second spot in the division. We were never going to win the league. But that second spot, very, very important for the Champions League and the promised land of all the money that comes in. And we've seen it again this season. And at that point, we weren't guaranteed that second spot. PSV were just behind us in third place. And consequently, we played absolutely abysmally. And PSV won that game 2-0. So it gave them a little glimmer of hope. But then we did play Sparta Rotterdam, beat them 4-2. You've just seen the highlights of that game with the ridiculous goal scored by our defender and goalkeeper, tussling to whether anybody wanted to actually get to the... I mean, it was just an absolutely ridiculous goal. But we won that 4-2. Then we played Utrecht. We got beat again 2-0. But we did confirm that second position with a win against Vitesse 2-0. And we have 2 games to play now. There's nothing to play for because we have finished in second place. But we're playing Heerenveen, who apparently one of our local... Well, in fact, it is a massive rival of ours. And the club who, of all the letters that they could pick in the alphabet, they just went for V's. VVV Venlo. So that's the last game of the season. But like I say, these 2 games, nothing really to play for other than, you know, just a bit of morale boost, keep the consistency going and keep the win ratio going, although we have been a little bit iffy towards the end of the season. Anyway, I'm saying all of this on the morning that we play Heerenveen. It's a 2:30 kickoff, and actually, I need to get in the dugout. I've had a quick word with the lads, and, you know, they've all had a pat on the back. Well done for the season. You played brilliantly. And we've not had the greatest of luck, if I'm honest. But you never know. That might turn round. Anyway, we'll see you in the dugout. Heerenveen, up and coming now. Oh, that was a bit of a dash, that was. OK, team for today. Irakoba in goal. Back 4 of Chrisen, Hato, Buckman and Tavares. I'm doing a little bit of experimentation at the moment. So we've got Fatir and Ramsey as the 2 players in midfield. Ramsey's going to play a box-to-box today. Then we've got Delgado and Stanlovic as the 2 wingers. Tobias is going to play as an attacking midfielder today behind Van Dijven up front. 20 minutes on the clock. We get the first highlight of the game. And it's SC Cambuur with a wild shot from Van Dijven there. A little bit unlike Van Dijven to be blasting that over the bar from close range. But we do have a goal, and it's Fatir with a lovely shot there into the top right-hand corner. We're 1-0 ahead against our big rivals Heerenveen. So Irakoba is playing the ball out from the back. One nice thing that I can report is that Delgado and Stanlovic are both now classed as wonder kids. So we actually have 2 wonder kids in the team. My goalkeeper now is a 4-star keeper as well. So this squad is building up quite nicely. And if we look at the match momentum, it's been all SC Cambuur in the first half. Nicely winning midfield. Chrisen with the ball over the top. Long ball there for Van Dijven. He should bury that. Actually, he's taken it too far. And it's not even a corner. So he didn't do as well as I thought he would do. Half time. Just going to give the lads a pat on the back. You've been brilliant so far. We're clearly the best team in this rivalry. Now drive that point home in the second half. So we're underway. 50 minutes on the clock. It's been a little bit of a dull game as far as highlights go. But we have the ball. Tavares down that right hand side. Been a very, very good signing for us, Tavares. Fatia has been a very good signing as well, and he's starting to weigh in with a few goals, which is nice to see. Poor ball forward. Hato picks that one up. Ball over the top from Ramsey to nobody, but Van Dijven. I mean, what was their defender doing there? 2-0 up now. Van Dijven pounces on a slip-up in their defence and fires the ball home for his second goal. Or for our second goal, I should say. Another hoofed ball over the top that doesn't find anybody for Heerenveen. We pick the ball up at the back, just working these little triangles in midfield, waiting to spring the trap. There we go. Delgado pulls it wide though, unfortunately. And again, it's all SC Cambuur where, well, it was. Commentator's curse, that, isn't it? But we have picked the ball up again. Fatia, lovely ball over the top for Van Dijven to run onto, and he puts the ball in the back of the net for his second goal of the game. That's his 24th of the season. Absolutely a brilliant performance. Delap, by the way, is on. I think he's made 11 appearances and scored 10 goals. So although he's not had as much of a chance as Van Dijven, but Delap's star rating has dropped quite a lot. He's rated now as a 2.5 star with the potential to be 2.5, where Van Dijven has got more potential, and he's Dutch obviously. So whether we'll be doing a little bit of juggling in the transfer window, not quite sure. And we're a little bit lapsed there at the back from that corner, and it's now 3-1 after 62 minutes. And with that, time to make some changes. So I brought Hernandez and Helgason in midfield, and I've changed my two centre-backs, so Gomez and Larsson have come on. So we're now into the 70th minute, and Heerenveen have the ball again. They have Frimpong playing for them. He's been recommended to me quite a few times, Frimpong. But they've actually found the back of the net again. So this rivalry is really firing Heerenveen along. It's now 3-2. They've found a little bit of a gap there. Ball just between our defenders, and he finishes smartly. So not ideal. Not unduly worried about this though. We're into the 89th minute now. It's been a long season. These players have actually put a real shift in. I mean, Heerenveen haven't been in any European competition, so we've played a lot of football. So I think these lads need a massive pat on the back. They've done really well for us. But we do have a corner to maybe finish the game off. That's headed out. Stanolovic gets the ball. No, it's a long punt upfield. Crescent to Delgado. Gomez picks the ball up at the back to Larsson, the two replacement centre-backs now. Larsson is coming forward with the ball. But plays that ball really it was a bad pass, that was. Hernandez picked up by Crescent to Hernandez, out to Helgason, and the ball is picked out of the air by their goalkeeper. And that's full time, and we do have a 3-2 win against our rivals. So now have about a week to prepare for the last game of the season against VVV Venlo. And we'll see you in the dugout for the last game of the season coming up very shortly. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm a Gobby Gaffer. I'm meant to be very smart and switched on. I forgot to press the record button. So we played VVV Venlo, and it was quite an exciting game. We beat them 5-2. Sorry you didn't get to see it. I'll show you the goals if you want. So the first goal is scored by Van Dijven. The ball is played along their penalty area, ends up with Consicao. Bit of a daisy cutter. Their keeper should have had that, but we're up 1-0. But then VVV Venlo, who actually are in the relegation area, and I think their relegation was confirmed before this game, but they get an equaliser, so it's 1-1. Then Ramsey to Consecao. Consecao, lovely ball out to Delgado. Delgado, Van Dijven, and a lovely goal there for his, I think that's the 25th, 26th goal of the season. But then VVV Venlo, not giving up. Our keeper, I think he was a bit unsighted if I'm being fair to him. So 71 minutes, it's 2-2. So I made a few substitutes, and Van Dijven then nips in, scores an absolute rocket. Ball in from Consecao. Gomez, lovely header. He'd just come on at centre-back. And then Fatia, he hits the crossbar with this, but Van Dijven nips in smartly for his hat-trick. And as you can see from the match stats, we were well on top in that game. XG of 2.72. VVV Venlo were relegated even before the game, but they did get relegated. So not very nice for them, but a great result for us to finish the season off. So we can now have a look at the final league table. So yes, Ajax were confirmed as champions quite a few games ago, as you can see by the points difference. They ran away with the league, but we actually ran away with second place, if that's a thing. But we did run away with second place. We were 13 points above Feyenoord. We finished the season on 78 points. And as you can see, VVV Venlo did get relegated along with Heerenveen. Coincidentally, the last 2 games of the season that we played, but they were well relegated before we played them. So not very nice for them. But we did finish in that Champions League spot, automatic Champions League spot again, which is very nice for the money coming in. And before we get the budgets from the board, let's just have a little look at the financial situation. And we have just under 28 million in the bank. Transfer budget, little transfer budget there, 62,000 left. We're spending £360,000 a week on wages, so about 8,000 under the wage budget. I'm hoping to see a tidy little sum in the new budgets that the board are about to announce. If we don't get that, I will be a little bit miffed, if I'm honest. And the email is in. Board set initial budgets. Let's have a little... I'm waiting with bated breath here. And here we go. So it's kind of the same as last season. We've got a transfer budget of 9.29 million. The wage budget is 375,000, which is not a great lot more than we've got now. I have to say I'm a little underwhelmed. With the amount of money that I've made for this club and the amount of money that we've got in the bank, a little bit underwhelmed. Little look at the supporter profile update. We are now playing in a bigger stadium. If you remember, one of the corners was developed. Gave us an extra like 3,800 fans, I think. So we've been actually selling out this season as well. So around about the 18,500 have been coming in to virtually every one of our home games. So the core support is down slightly. That's on 27% now. The family, however, is up slightly. That's at 23% now. And we have actually gained 105,000 social media followers. Club vision and expectations meeting. Play possession football, they're pleased. Play entertaining football, they're pleased. Only pleased. I would have thought they'd been absolutely over the moon. Work within the wage budget, okay. Spend the original transfer budget, delighted. Well, you know what? If you want to give me some more money, I'll spend that as well. You can be even more delighted. It's absolutely bonkers. So the end of next season, it all seems to be about Europe now. There's nothing in there about league positioning, reach the Champions League proper, qualify for the Europa Conference League. So there's no mention of league position there. It's all to do with, well, I suppose it is kind of, you know, in a roundabout way, but it's more about Europe than league positioning now. End of season, team meeting. This is always a good one to get wrong, isn't it? All right. Or which button do we click? I think we're going to say the season has finished now and it's time to focus on what we can achieve going forward. I think we can qualify for the Champions League next year and you need to come back for pre-season with the same level of ambition. Hearty mouth time. Oh, we're all satisfied and pleased. That's exactly the sort of reaction I was after. Got a big smile on my face now because I clicked the right button. Okay. Oh, they're off on the jollies now. Go and get your buckets and spades. Have a lovely time. I'll be polishing mine off very shortly. I'm going to have a lovely time as well. And with all of that out of the way, we now have a chance to have a look at the season review. So this should be quite interesting. New arrivals. So it's all the usual suspects, really. The two wonder kids are on there. Stanojevic is top of the shop there, a 19-year-old, 7.24, 13 appearances, 3 goals, 8 assists. Then we've got Fatia, who came in from CFR Cluj, paid 3 million for him, 34 appearances, 11 goals, 10 assists, 7.23. I mean, that's the sign of a very, very good player. Rikoba, the goalkeeper, he actually got the kind of transfer of the season as far as our board are concerned. Got an A- for that one. He came in for 4.5 million from Nacional, 48 appearances, and he's 7.21. Consecao came from Ajax, 32 appearances, 12 goals, 18 assists, 7.19. You can see why we've been successful this season. We're actually scoring a lot of goals. We're scoring them from a lot of positions on the pitch. And creative-wise, we've been absolutely brilliant. Lakar came in from Newcastle, 4.7 million, 43 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7.16. Hato, the centre-back, 24-year-old centre-back, came from Ajax. We paid 8 million for him. 42 appearances, 1 goal, 7.11. Our other wonder kid, 19-year-old Delgado, came in from Groningen. 10.75 million. So we did pay quite a bit of money for this lad. But, at the end of the day, you have to pay for quality. 43 appearances, 6 goals, 7 assists, 7.08. And Jaeger, we got from the PSV youth system. He came in 3 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7.02. Little bit underused, Jaeger. Feel a little bit sorry for him, but with Delgado out on that wing and Stanojevic coming in, who can also play on that side, didn't get an awful lot of game time. Never really sure how this works. I mean, board expectations qualified for the Conference League, and we actually qualified for the Champions League in second place, and I only got a B. Not really sure, but top goal scorer Van Dijven, average home attendance 17,672. Quick look at the Champions League results. So in the Champions League stage, we only had 2 wins in there. Not the greatest of performances. We lost 4, and did we draw 4 as well? Yes, we drew 4 as well. But, our kind of star rating in the Champions League is not great. So, but we're doing okay. Dutch Cup, we got through at the semi-final. Still a little bit raw, that one. We beat Maastricht in the first round 3-1, then Emmen 4-0, AZ 2-1, and then we came unstuck against, Ajax in that penalty shootout. So look at the finances. Our reputation is a 3.5 star, which is, I think we've moved up half a star since I arrived. So that's quite nice. Revenue is down quite a bit on the prize money, and I don't know whether that's why the board have not given me as much as I would have hoped. Last season we had 51 million in prize money. I think that's mainly because we won a few more games. If you remember, you get like 2.4 million, I think. We won a few more games early on. This season we only got 38 million. So when I say only, I mean for a club the size of SC Cambuur, that's amazing money, but it was down from last season. Sponsorship very slightly up, broadcast revenue very slightly up, corporate hospitality very slightly down, matchday commercial and retail very slightly down. We sold 14,000 shirts, Delgado top of the shop, with Fatia, Van Dijven, Delap and Stanojevic all selling quite a number of shirts. No surprise in the lineup, our best 11 there on this left-hand side. The average ratings are all very pleasing to the eye. There was only Chrisen who ended up with an average rating of 6.99, so didn't actually get a green rating, but no surprises in there really. And then the awards ceremony. Paul Fatia, the 22-year-old midfielder that I signed, he was Fans Player of the Season. Young Player of the Season, again, Fatia. Signing of the season was our goalkeeper, Rakoba. He was a great acquisition, actually, because when I lost my goalkeeper early doors and I had a look round and there was nobody on the market, I was really struggling. The first few friendlies of the season, I had to play my reserve keeper. But eventually I came up with Rakoba, and he's turned out to be an absolutely brilliant signing, and only 22, so lots of development to do there. Top goal scorer was Van Dijven, 27 goals. Most assists, Contecow, 18 assists. Most player of the match awards, Van Dijven with 8. The highest average rating, Liam Delap, 7.2. And most passes completed per 90 minutes, Hato, our centre-back. And I think this probably sums up quite nicely our situation in the grand shape of things in football terms. So, Mike van Zundert, the Dutch football informer. So apparently he says, we were one of the competition's surprise packages, constantly defying expectations, and owing largely to an impressive spell of form between September and May that saw them rise to second, we were able to celebrate a successful campaign. And I think that really does sum it up quite a lot, because I in all kind of, realms of football, I don't think we're expected to do well at all, and we have done. And just before I go off for my summer holidays, just one final look at the finances. We have a little bit more money come in through European. There's like a pot that's divided out at the end of the European season. So I've had a little bit more money coming in. So we've got around about 31 million in the bank now. The transfer budget is 9.3 million. And we're spending £360,000 a week. So there's about £19,000 a week there to spend extra in the wage budget. Quite a few of my players are out of contract at the end of the season. We have been working with I won't say a small squad, but it's been a little bit smaller than I would have liked. And one or two of the players I've kept hold of, thinking, smallish squad, we need to, we need strength in depth. When really I maybe should have put them on the transfer market and got some money in for them. So a little bit of a decision making by me that maybe wasn't quite up to scratch. Like I say, one or two of the players are going to leave on free transfers at the end of the season. The contracts are running out in a couple of months. Would have been nice maybe to have got a little bit of money in for them, but like I say, circumstances dictated otherwise. So we will be having some new faces coming in, because we do need to replace them. I've only got just over 9 million to spend, so we are going to have to be creative, because we are starting to build some value in players. So I'm not saying we are going to sell anybody, but there is some room for manoeuvre there. Anyway, like I say, I'm going to go off for my summer holidays now, and I'm going to do some head scratching when I come back. Have a look at the squad, see where we need to strengthen, and hopefully next season we can mount a better challenge to Ajax. Somehow, I kind of doubt that, unless a lot of the big clubs come in for the likes of Endrick and some of their top players, and they lose the core of that team that's won them the league this season by a country mile. That would be in our favour, obviously. But if that doesn't happen, I can't see us really catching Ajax up. But you never know. Football is a strange game when all's said and done. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please give me a like. If you're new around here, you know by now, spread the word, all that kind of malarkey. It helps the channel grow, and obviously that's what it's all about. That's what I'm here for. Hopefully to try and entertain. hopefully maybe to pass on a little bit of knowledge and information to new players who have just picked the game up, and even seasoned players. I wouldn't even call myself a seasoned player because we're all learning all of the time. I learn from watching other people play the game. I learn something new every time I watch a content creator. So we're all here to learn off each other, and I hope that you are enjoying this content and you are picking a few little tips and hints up as well. So lastly, if you like your Football Manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then why not come back again next time? We'll be starting a brand new season. Will it be with SC Cambuur, or will it be with somebody else? Well, nobody knows at this moment in time. You'll have to come back and have a look, won't you? We'll see you next time.